What's up, Cassie?
Hey, Dr. John.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm all right.
Awesome. I'm a little bit nervous, so I wrote everything down. If you don't mind, I'm just going to read what I've got.
Let it rip.
All right. About 2 months ago, my home was broken into.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I was lucky, though. I wasn't home, and thankfully my security system notified the police. And, aside from them ransacking my house, I mean, everything is okay, right? Nobody got hurt.
Hey, Cassie. Cassie.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to stop doing that.
What's that?
Man. Having somebody break into your home is one of the top few most devastating personal invasions.
Yeah.
Sexual assault is one. Someone breaking into your home is another. It's different. It's distant. It's a distant second to sexual assault, but it's devastating. And you have to stop qualifying that sense of loss and that sense of panic with, but it could have been worse. It's okay. It could have been worse. You just got to sit in it for a minute, okay?
That's fair.
Let your body metabolize it, because that's the only path to healing. Can you even walk in your front door?
Not calmly. There's a lot of anxiety and a lot of lack of sleep.
Yeah.
And I guess that brings me to the question, I don't know how to feel safe in my home again.
Cassie, your body is working perfectly. Do you hear me say that? You're not crazy?
I don't know. I feel it. I feel crazy.
You're
and
not.
I feel like I'm being paranoid and I'm taking all these precautions to try to get safe or feel safe, and it's not working.
Because you're working around the core issue. And the core issue is there's a before and after in Cassie's life. As my buddy John told me one time, locks keep your neighbors out. If somebody wants in your house, they'll get into your house. And that was after my apartment got broken into. And I had to metabolize the fact that somebody can come into my house. And I didn't have a psychology for that. I assumed that when I locked the door, I was safe inside of that place. And that was an illusion. And once I spent some time in grief and then asked myself, okay, what is going to make me feel safe, reasonably safe? Not ironclad safe, because ironclad safe doesn't exist anymore. There's a before and after. I thought it did. It doesn't. Whew, that's not what I hoped for, but here we are.
Yeah.
And I checked the locks 3 or 4 times a night. It doesn't help that I was an OCD kid anyway, but I check the locks a bunch now. And I've got some other personal precautions. And now I can't stay awake past like 9 o'clock. I just fall asleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you tried walking in the front door and when you feel seized up, laughing and saying, thank God you're working right, body?
No.
Or have you started getting anxious about going home because you're worried that your body's going to get anxious when you go inside your own house?
Yeah, that happens.
Yes. And that turns into full-blown panic probably?
Yeah, it has recently. I actually left my house and went to like my condo in Florida to try to get away from it all.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel safe here, but every time I think about going home, I just get all panicked and really anxious, and my family doesn't get it. And I don't know who to talk to about it. And I went and saw a therapist, and her suggestion was to keep it out of my mind.
God almighty, that's a terrible, terrible. All right. Good gosh. Oh, I'm going to have a job forever. Forever. Hey, team, I'm looking at the people in the studio. We're going to be employed forever because there are some god-awful therapists out there. Jeez Louise. All right, here's a basic primer on how your brain works, okay?
Okay.
Your body identifies a threat out in the world. It could be real, it could be imagined, it could be a memory of something that happened that it just puts a GPS pin in your nervous system and it keeps sounding the alarms every time it senses it somewhere, okay? Doesn't matter if it's real or not, it just identifies a threat.
Yeah.
Here's what's amazing about your body. It only wants one thing, and that's for you to not die. It doesn't care if you're happy, it doesn't care if you're lonely, it doesn't care if you're miserable, it just wants you to not die.
Yeah.
And so it sounds every alarm you got. And if you avoid the thing that it thinks is going to kill you, whether it's a relationship, if you have social anxiety issues, whether it's a romantic issue, whether it's somebody breaking into your house again and doesn't want you there, if you avoid it, your body goes, that's how we stay safe. And it reinforces it and makes it stronger. And so every time you avoid your home, your body gets exactly what it wants, which is you didn't die. And it thinks that's why. And so the next time you think about your house, it's going to be a little bit stronger. And the next time you pack up and run away from your home and go to Florida, your body really got what it wanted, so it's going to reinforce that pathway. So the therapist idea was the stupidest thing possible. Because by putting it out of your mind, it just makes it stronger.
Yeah. That's how it feels, because I'm terrified to get on the flight back to my reality.
Correct. The only path is directly through it. And I know that's the worst thing I could tell you. And hey, I also want to honor the fact that now you got two people telling you radically different things. I will say, just from a data perspective, did their idea work?
No.
All right, try mine. Just try mine. You can do one of two things, okay? Three things. You have three paths forward, okay? Path number one, you can sell the house. You can sell it.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's not a bad option. If that helps you sleep, sell it. Number two, you can be very specific about what you think will make you safe in this home. And then you will practice over a series of months feeling scared, feeling nervous, and staying anyway. Under reasonable amounts of safety, right?
Yeah.
And that might be getting an alarm system. That might be having a friend walk with you. That might be you checking the locks. That might be you going to a CHL class and watching a lot of John Wick movies. I don't know. Or learning karate. I don't know what the thing is. But you have to decide what those things are. And then you're going to make a commitment to doing those things.
Yeah.
The third option is to do what that other goofball told you to do, which is just put it out of your mind and just plug along. And then run to Florida whenever it gets real heavy.
Yeah.
And that will be a recipe. That's like taking gasoline and dumping it on a fire.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's kind of what I did, under the assumption that I was listening to someone who knew what they were talking about.
I know.
You know,
I'm sure they were well-intentioned. They just told you the wrong information.
Yeah, and I've done some of the other things, you know, like I mean, I wasn't like a stupid person just sitting around waiting to get broken into. I have the security system. I have the locks on my door. I have cameras. I have a gun. But I just feel constantly jumpy and paranoid. I'm checking the cameras all the time. Every little noise makes me jump.
Okay.
It's hard.
I know, but it's on a framework that there's something wrong with you. And there's not. Okay? You had a core violation. And so when there's a noise, I want you to literally feel it. Put your hand on your chest and say, my body's working perfectly. Let's go check that out.
Okay.
I want you to make I will only check the cameras this many times a day.
Okay.
I'm going to check them,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to turn it into an addiction, a way to numb the reality that, man, somebody can break into my house if they want to again. And can I ask a crazy question?
Yeah.
Did it all work?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it all worked, right? The police came.
It all worked.
And yeah, I wasn't home and I got the notification. It all worked. It just.
And you've also made up a story that if you had been home, they would have come in and killed you.
Yeah, I play the if game in my head a lot.
The other story, which is more plausible, statistically speaking, is they busted into the house, you scream, and they run away.
Yeah.
That's also equally plausible. And because your body has one job, and that's try to keep you alive, it's made up the story that the worst thing could have happened, and that's the one that just resonates in your guts because that's the most like dramatic interpretation of what could have happened, and that's the story that's most likely to keep you most alive. But statistically speaking, you scream, they run away. I was recently watching an interview with somebody about crime, and they said most people just need to lock their doors and lock their cars because people will just go to the path of least resistance. Now, that didn't work in your situation. They still broke in, but the alarm worked and the police showed up. And like, so it's backing up and going, I hate that someone picked my house and had all these steps in place and everything worked. Whew, could have gone real bad, but this time it didn't. So body, thank you for trying to keep me safe. I'm sleeping here tonight, and I am going to lock the door, and I'm going to look at the camera, and my body may pop awake at 2 a.m. Cool. It's just extra vigilant, extra alert. That's okay. But at the end of 5 days in a row, I'm going to write down in a gratitude journal, it's been 5 days, and my body's working great, still trying to keep me safe, and my home safe. And I'm going to continue to come back to the well and come back to the well and come back to the well. And this is going to sound stupid, and I know I'm always telling people to write letters. I want you to write a letter to your alarm system. Doesn't have to be long. I want you to write a letter to your home. Dear home, I'd put a lot of stuff on you as though you were gonna be able to protect me from everything. You can't, and I'm sorry I put all that on you. Whew. Write a letter to the alarm system, to the police officers, and say thank you. Maybe you make some cookies or go buy some cupcakes, take them over to the police station and say, hey, you guys showed up. Thank y'all. I'm grateful. Be proactive and go walk into. And at some point, you may need to have some sort of gathering at your house. It's a reclamation. This is my home. Play Tom Petty's I Won't Back Down on repeat. But this is my home. And I'm drawing this line. This is where I live. And one time people tried to break in, but every system worked perfectly, and I'm still here. I'm still safe, and we're going from there. Or Cassie, you just sell it. But the first option sounds more like William Wallace. It sounds more hardcore and tough. But I think it's feeling the discomfort, feeling the anxiousness, knowing panic can't kill you. Anxiousness won't kill you. It's just your body sounding the alarm saying, hey, whoa, I don't think we're safe. Put your hand on your chest. Yeah, I feel that. Pretty sure that was just the dog or just the drawer, just something adjusted in the dishwasher. We'll go check it out. Pretty sure we're good. Thank you so much for the call, Cassie. Your body's working perfectly. Hang on the line. I'm going to send you a copy of Building a Non-Anxious Life. Check that out. Won't directly help with your particular anxiety, but I do think globally speaking, it'll be good.